If you're moving to Red Deer Alberta, it can be super stressful trying to figure out what the best neighborhoods are or what areas you should live in, especially if you've never set foot in the city before. So if that's you, you're going to want to watch this video. This is going to be a little bit longer video. It's going to be super detailed. This is going to be a combination of Google Earth. We're going to walk you through most of the popular neighborhoods. We're going to start on the south end. This is going to be a two-part series. This will be part 1 of 2. The next series, we're going to look at the north end. So settle in, take some notes, grab a coffee if you need to. And if you do need help making the move here, I am a licensed realtor in the area. Use this info popping up. Get a hold of it any way you like. Would love to hear from you and the chance to earn your business. All right, let's hop over to Google Earth and see what's going on. All right, we've hopped over to trusty old Google Earth. So let's kind of take a broad look at the city of Red Deer. Now, if I grab my little markup tool, when we're talking about Red Deer, most people talk about it as kind of north and south. It's kind of strange. We do have east and west, which we'll talk about today, but really anything that is, so that's the river that dissects Red Deer kind of right through the middle of it. Anything down here is going to be considered South Red Deer. And I see where this gets confusing to some people because 67th Street, which is this area right here, it is definitely the north end of the city, also runs through over into Clearview and Timberstone, which is considered the south end of the city. So if I just get rid of that, this will be considered, or this is considered, the north end of Red Deer. So just to give a little bit of context. All right, let's get this video started kind of in the southeast section of Red Deer. So when I'm talking about southeast, I'll grab my little markup tool here for you. This is the area that I consider to be southeast Red Deer. It's this big rectangle here, and there's a few neighborhoods within it. I used to live in this area right here called Vanier East. Now, this is a really popular area, this whole section of Vanier. We have Vanier Woods over here, which is slightly older, and we have Vanier East just over here, which is going to be a little bit newer. So really, really great area of the city for young families. This area is full of young families. You can see, even though that this is a newer area, there still is, if I zoom in a little bit here, tons of paved walking trails go around this man-made lake. They weave into the parks here. These will go all the way down to the central portion of the south end. And if I zoom out a little bit here, these go all the way up to 39th Street. So again, even though this is a newer neighborhood, a lot of people comment to me that Red Deer has lots of beautiful walking trails, and even the newer neighborhoods are really good for that too. Now, right in the middle of Vanier East, you have this really cool green space. There's 2 different parks here. One of these is for the bigger kids, and then we have a smaller, a little bit more of a safer park for the toddlers. And then if we go a little bit north into the neighborhood of Laredo, so it's not showing up on the map here, but I'll just grab my tool for you. So this neighborhood right here, this is Laredo. This is also a newer neighborhood. This is one of the fewer neighborhoods where you're still going to find, where you are going to find no construction going on. Right in between these 2 neighborhoods of Laredo and Vanier East, again, if I zoom in a little bit, and we'll also show you some drone footage, this is another awesome green space. So 2 really cool parks here. The kids and I used to love going here all the time. We have tennis courts, a nice big green space. If you're out playing fetch with the dogs, this turns into an outdoor rink in the wintertime. So again, this area, Laredo, Vanier, super popular area of the city to live in. You can't go wrong if you buy a house here. Let's talk about the neighborhood of Lancaster. So Lancaster is kind of this L-shaped area right here. So this might be one of the best areas of the city to live in for families. I know I just said that about the southeast corner, but there's a couple reasons that make this area absolutely fantastic. There are 4 different schools in this neighborhood. So if we zoom in right here, we have St. Francis of Assisi. This is a Catholic middle school. And then if we head up, we got Mattie McCullough over here, which is a public elementary school. And then let me just spin around here. Hopefully I don't make anybody sick. I get sick all the time doing stuff like this. But another really cool thing about living in this neighborhood is you have 2 high schools here. So you have Notre Dame High School, which is a Catholic high school. And then if we move over here, we have the Hunting Hill School, which is a public high school. Right in between those 2, you have the Collicut Center. So again, we'll throw up some drone footage of all this stuff as we're talking, but this is an amazing rec center. It literally has everything from field houses. It's got a great indoor running track and a gym. It's got skating rinks. There's a daycare in there with a coffee shop and Booster Juice. I believe Second Cup is in there now, or maybe Booster Juice might have actually took over that spot. So, if you've just had a baby or a stay-at-home mom or you're stay-at-home dad, or you're just on your days off and you're on baby duty and you want to get out and you want to get a workout in, you can take your kids to the daycare and you can go get a workout in at the Collicut. So I've just kind of reoriented myself here. Over here, again, we have the colleges, or not the colleges, the high schools and the Collicut Center. Now, the main shopping area in this area is going to be the East Hill Shopping Center. So right here, we have one of my favorite grocery stores in the city, Save on Foods. We got some restaurants and different stores in here. We got Timmy's and McDonald's, and we got walk-in clinics and dentist office. So not tons of great shopping in this area, but we do have some stuff right in the immediate area, which is nice. All right, now let's touch on the neighborhood of Inglewood. So this is this big rectangle right here. Again, this is a popular neighborhood to live in. Newer-ish neighborhood, built kind of in the early 2000s. Again, you have lots of walking trails and different things that go along here. Now, some people do say, and I lived in this area for a long time. I didn't live in Inglewood, but I lived in Vanier, and I would always go jogging. I'd use this kind of loop here for a jog. We do have our waste management facility right here. So some people report that on certain days you can get whiffs of the dump coming in. I never once smelt it, not once. So I don't know if that's just the Katies and the Karens getting a little bit over dramatic, but I definitely wouldn't let that deter you from buying a house in this area. Another nice thing about living in this area is that we also have the Oxbows off-leash dog park. So this is a great dog park. It's not quite as nice as 3 Mile Bend, but it's nice and big, fully fenced in. I used to walk my dogs there all the time. And some new developments since I have lived there is this area over here has popped up. It's kind of like a shopping area. We do have Starbucks here. So I wish that was there when I lived in this area. You can grab a Starbucks, go walk your dog. Really nice that they put this in there. All right, I've got my bearings back here. Now we're just going to go north of Inglewood into the neighborhood of Anders. So this is a very big neighborhood. So it's this whole square here. If you follow area vibes, this is considered to be one of the safest neighborhoods in the city. There's lots of variety in this neighborhood when it comes to different types of living. So this area right here, this is actually an old section. So lots of tree-lined streets, bigger lots, older homes with, you got the older style bungalow, 4-level splits. There is a school in this area as well. And then down in this area, this is actually called Anders on the Lake over here. So if we just zoom in here, let's head into street view. You can see that there is some really, really nice homes here, some multi-million-dollar homes. This is a beautiful area to live in. So you go from the old version of Anders into this multi-million-dollar luxury area of Anders. Really gives it a lot of variety. Now, if we zoom back out to get our bearings again, then if we head over to this section of Anders, again, we get into all different types of housing. So there's lots of row townhouses, lots of duplexes, lots of options for first-time home buyers, as well as a little bit more expensive properties in this area. So this area of the city is really good to live in. Anders is a really popular area. All right, let's move into the central portion, or the central core of the south end, which would be this area right here. So again, nice and centrally located, easy access to literally everything within the city. Now, one of my favorite neighborhoods in this area is in this area. It's called Sunnybrook. Now, this is one of the premier neighborhoods in Red Deer. It is an older neighborhood, but in my opinion, it is one of the most kind of beautiful neighborhoods within the city. This one has tons, again, of mature trees, lots of beautiful tree-lined streets. Now, if we jump back here, you can see, so one of the popular things about living in this area is that we have the Sunnybrook neighborhood right here. All through here is really, really nice walking trails. This is called Piper Creek. zoom out a little bit here. So they come all the way down. You can go down here, walk to the Centrium, catch a Rebels game, but these will take you all the way down to the river. So really, really beautiful walking area. This neighborhood has a little bit of an older demographic, even though there is an elementary school in the area. Lots of people love this area. They are looking to retire in this area. Now, what's also really nice about living in this area is that, you can just walk straight through these trees. This is like a 5-minute walk. And then right here, we have Bauer Mall, which is the most popular mall in the city. So really, really, really popular area, this Sunnybrook. Even before real estate market got really hot, this is a really popular area. If you renovate a home in this neighborhood, you can make a lot of money off it. You can do really well.
Wait, that's actually a really good idea.
Now let's renovate this dump.
So let's move into the next neighborhood and talk about Bauer now. So Bauer is going to be this neighborhood right here. So this is arguably the most walkable neighborhood within the city for a couple of reasons. So again, as we talked about, we have Bauer Mall. Bauer Mall is right here. So lots of immediate shopping and stuff. Sunterra Market. So if we zoom in, we have Sunterra Market right here, which is an awesome market. I love this place. Now, if we zoom back out a little bit, so we have this major artery right here. This is Gates Avenue. All along here, this goes all the way north to south in Red Deer. This is all shopping and retail and commercial. There's lots of different restaurants in this area. We have I think the Rusty Pelican closed, but we have Earl's, Moxie's. Down in South Point Common, we have Eastside Mario's and Montana's. So you have access to all of that within walking distance. If we go right across Gates Avenue, we get into Home Depot and Walmart. And then in South Point Common here, we have Winners, Sport Chek, HomeSense, Old Navy, really some of the best shopping in the city. So very, very easy access if you're living in this neighborhood. And what also is attractive in this neighborhood as well is that it's still really walkable to get to the college. So you can walk here, cut in behind, come in through the dorms. It is a pretty easy walk. Might get a little bit cold in the wintertime if it's a cold day. So this is a really popular area. A little bit of an older demographic in this area. You get a lot of people looking to retire just because of the walkability and all these beautiful walking paths here. You do have a variety when it comes to, really affordable apartment style condos, row townhouses, and then we get into some really ritzy stuff over in this area, in the Bannerman area, and then you get some nice stuff kind of on Barrett Drive and this entire area down here. All right, let's head over to the southwest corner here. Grab my little markup tool for you. We're going to talk about this area right here. I really like this area for a number of reasons here. We have two major neighborhoods in this area. We have West Park, which is going to be this area right here. This is an older neighborhood. Again, lots of bigger lots, mature trees. And then we have West Lake, even though it says West Park Extension on Google Maps, this is called West Lake. This is a newer neighborhood. So there's a couple reasons why, actually a few reasons why this area is great to live in. Now you can see right here, this is Red Deer College. Right across the street, 32nd Street, we have West Park. So this neighborhood is going to be your closest neighborhood to Red Deer College, which means that there is going to be a lot of potential for renters in here. So this is a really popular area for investors to look for investment properties, just because this has such a high potential for renters. When I was going to college back in 1998, I actually lived in 2 different houses in this area. So really fun area to live in. Again, high rental population. This side of West Park can sometimes seem a little bit busier. When school's getting out, we have a huge school here called West Park Middle School. This is a very popular school within the city. And then some parts of this older section of West Park, not really back on, but they're getting close to Taylor Drive. So you can get a little bit of noise back there. And then we head over to Westlake. Now, I really like this neighborhood. This is all single family detached homes. Now, one of the best things about living in this area is Red Deer is known for its beautiful parks and river valley. One of the best parks that we have is Heritage Ranch. It is literally right in your backyard if you are living in the Westlake neighborhood. So as you can see, we'll zoom in a little bit here. It is right here. So this is where they keep all the horses. Right in this area is Westlake Grill. There's a park here for the kids. But these walking trails, they go all the way down through the trees. You can take them down to Mitchell Pond, go around this island. It's a really beautiful area in here. Lots of people are using this for picnics. Lots of people are also fishing in this area, and these trails will wind all the way back. You know, you can take the pedestrian bridge. This is actually a walking bridge, and if you want to follow this all the way down, beautiful walk along the river valley, and you can get down to Bower Ponds and some other parks. And then there is a horrible set of stairs right here that lots of people use for their fitness. They are super tough. So if you want to get in shape, make sure you go run these stairs. Now, as you can see, this is right up along the river. So again, you have access to all of this stuff. There's some beautiful, you know, bigger homes in here on 1 to 2 acres. This is a really kind of like a prestigious street. This is called Cronquist Drive. Now, one of the obvious cons about living in this area is that you are getting close to Highway 2, which is right here. Now, these homes, you are getting close. You could probably throw a rock and hit a car that's driving down the highway here. So something to think about in this area. You will have that slight hum of traffic noise. Obviously, the closer you get, the worse it's going to be. For some reason, the cell service in this area can be crappy. I have no idea why.
Can anyone get a phone signal? No.
How is there no signal in here?
Now, again, we talked about this being close to the college. Another great reason to live in this area is you do have easy access to the G.W. Harris Canada Game Centre. So this Canada Game Centre was built in 2019 in preparation for the Canada Winter Games. This really is state of the art. It's got an amazing running track, an amazing gym. This is where the Kings and Queens play, which are the college school sports teams. So whether it's boys or girls. So really fun area. Now, another thing to talk about when we are looking at this area, again, I'm trying to move slow here so I don't make anybody sick. I'm going to zoom out a little bit here. So we have Westlake here, we have West Park here. Now, right down in this area here is the Cronquist Business Park. This is a really cool area. If we zoom in a little bit, you can see this is where the capstone development is taking place. This is an exciting up and coming project that's supposed to take place over the next 20 years. I think this is going to be one of the most trendiest, coolest areas in the city when it's done. They've already started phase 1, which is the Alex, which is going up on right here. It's not updated on Google Earth. These are only for rental though. It's going to be a bunch of modern row townhouses and condos in a decent price point too. But if we look at Cronquist Business Park, zoom out a little bit, get rid of that. So right here, we have Dose on the river. We have the Trouble Monk Brewery over here. There's tons of different businesses in here. And then it's easy access. So this is West Park here. I mean, you can take these beautiful walking trails down the river. They come down through the trees, and then you end up on this riverfront here. So few reasons why living in this southwest section of the city is a really popular area. And also, you can see here, which I think is even going to make this capstone development even more attractive, is you have Red Deer Hospital right here. So doctors, nurses, anyone looking to, there's a big expansion taking place right now. It's about to start taking place at the Red Deer Hospital, $1.8 billion expansion. A lot of these people are going to be looking for rental properties. And if you have something here in the capstone area, I think it's going to be a really, really popular area just because this area is super convenient. All right, I zoomed out a little bit here. Let's kind of touch on this central core of the central portion of the south end. There's some really good areas to live in here. I really like this area as well. Morse Row, this big rectangle right here, is a great area to live in. Lots of different variety of homes in here and lots of space. I know a lot, like between homes. I know a lot of times in these newer neighborhoods, it can feel like you're stacked up on top of each other. So Morse Row is a fantastic option. You do have the Eastview Middle School, which is right here. So not very far away if your kids are in that grade. And then if we look at Mount View and Grandview, so Grandview is right here. And then just to the south of that, we have Mount View. So these are really cool areas to live in as well. Something to note about this area, as you can see, this is a big ridge that runs along here. So again, beautiful. These are some of the nicest walking trails in the city. I really like this area, but you do have easy access to downtown if you're living in either of these neighborhoods. So if you're working downtown, this might be an option you want to consider. You can easily ride your bike or walk, cut down through the trees, and be downtown pretty quick. Fun fact about the water tower in Mountain View, we'll show some drone footage of it. When that one was built, I guess these are useless facts, but when it was first built, it was the tallest water tower in North America.
My God, you can see the whole island from up here.
Now let's head over to the far east side, get into some really popular neighborhoods. We talked about these ones lots. We get into the neighborhood of Rosedale, as well as Deer Park. Now these neighborhoods are built primarily in the 1980s and 1990s. Deer Park is going to have a slightly younger demographic than Rosedale. You do have a school right here in the neighborhood. Now there is, kind of a little bit of a shopping strip in this area where we have Chillabongs, Mucho Burrito, Dairy Queen. So there is also the Co-op grocery store in there. So you do have some immediate stuff in the area, nothing fantastic. And then you do have pretty easy access to Collicutt Center and the high schools. And then looking just north of Deer Park, we get into, like we talked about, Rosedale, a little bit of an older demographic. Again, I really like this neighborhood for having lots of space and stuff in between your homes. There's a few streets in here. I've sold some homes in this area where it's a super tight-knit community. They do have block parties. So if you put a flag out in your yard, that means it's party time at your place. Now let's head straight north. Now, once we start getting into this section, kind of the northeast section of the south end, it gets to be kind of an interesting area. So we have the neighborhood of Timberstone, which is this area over here, kind of this big rectangle. Now right here, we do have the Timberstone Plaza or whatever it's called. I never get the name right. This is an outdoor market, so tons and tons of amenities in this area. Now, if you're looking for new construction homes, for the longest time, there was nothing going on in this area called Timberlands North. You can see lots of empty lots. It was kind of an awkward area. However, in the last year, since we've developed such a housing shortage in Canada, builders are going nuts and this area has exploded. So it is kind of a cool area. It looks pretty crappy in this picture, but they have a lot of different walking paths. It's supposed to be a very walkable community. This area right here is known as the Wellings. This is actually a retirement community, 55 plus living, all one floor bungalows with huge big windows. So there's no stairs in here. They're only available for rent. But you can see they made it very walkable just to get over into all of these businesses over here. Now we do have the St. Joseph High School here, a relatively new Catholic high school. And then we do have Barry Wilson, so elementary school in the neighborhood as well. So this is a great area for families. Now if we hop right across the street, again, we talked about all the amenities right here in the Timberstone area. If we hop into the Clearview area, in the Clearview Market, and that's actually the right name, this has so many different amenities. It has all of the major banks. We have some really good restaurants here like Brown's Social House. There's gyms, Orange Theory, Starbucks. Virtually just about anything you can think of, you're going to be able to find it between these two markets, these two areas. Now, Clearview, Timberstone, all newer areas. Again, you'll find new construction going on in Timberlands North as well as Timberstone. Clearview is a newer area. There's no new construction going on here. We do have a school, a Catholic school in the middle of the neighborhood. And what's nice about living in Clearview, let me just zoom out a little bit here, is you're backing on to some beautiful nature. So you do have the Gates Lakes Bird Sanctuary here. So this is a beautiful area. You have these walking paths that come all the way in through the trees and all the way in through this island. And then right down in here, you do have the Kerrywood Nature Center, which is a fantastic area for the kids. There's play areas. There's lots of things to do inside here. So really great area for families, kids, for fitness, for all different types of things. Now, if I zoom out a little bit here, now this area over here, this is Evergreen. So this is an interesting neighborhood. You can see there's a little bit of space separating it from the rest of the city. This is where you're going to find a lot of new construction. There's a ton of new construction going on right here. This is a really good area. Lots are a little bit smaller in this area, I'm not gonna lie. You get some small lots, but the homes here are beautiful, and it's a nice, quiet, secluded feel because you are kind of separated from the rest of the city. Another thing to note too is that just down this way, if you keep going up, you get into the Riverbend Golf and Country Club, which is really nice. All right, let's get into some of the last couple neighborhoods that I want to talk about in this video. Let's head downtown and look at what's going on down here. Now, a lot of the times, downtown Red Deer gets a bad rap. And yes, I mean, if I grab my markup tool here and we zoom down into this area, I'm going to show you guys where the homeless shelters are and the safe injection site. And I'll let you decide whether or not it's right for you. So right in this area right here. So right in here. So this is where the safe injection site is going to be. This is also where you're going to find some really big shelters. And then right across the bridge, and we get into Riverside Meadows, there's another homeless shelter over here. So you do get a lot of foot traffic from here. And now if we talk about some of the neighborhoods that are downtown, we get into Waskesiu, which is this neighborhood right here. And then we talk about Woodley, which is this neighborhood right here. And I think that these neighborhoods are some of the most beautiful neighborhoods within the city. If we look at Waskesiu, you can see it's right up on the river. The homes in here, the streets in here, they have so much character. All of these neighborhoods downtown are going to have a lot of character homes and historic homes. So you have access to everything along this river. This is a really beautiful area. And if you follow it down, you get into Mackenzie Trails. This is a little bit of a lesser known park in Red Deer, but this is absolutely beautiful here. And then this is where we get into the 3 Mile Bend Dog Park, which has been voted as one of the nicest dog parks in the country. And it is absolutely stunning. When I lived in the city, I took my dogs here every day. It's tucked in along the Red Deer River. It's absolutely beautiful. Now let's head back here. Now some things to note down here. We have right in the neighborhood, we have another high school, public high school. So being downtown Red Deer, a lot of times I get clients coming in, they're asking me are the downtown schools bad? Like some other cities you go to and you don't want to go to the downtown schools. It's not like that here in Red Deer. These schools are really good as well. So don't worry about, because it's downtown, it might have that stigma to it that it might be a bad school to go to. Again, Woodley is this area right here. It's one of my favorite neighborhoods. This neighborhood has some of the most beautiful streets in the city, just with the character homes, the tree-lined streets, the huge lots. It's an area of the city that I think is absolutely beautiful. And you have a lot of beautiful walking trails, again, that you have easy access to. Now, if we just slide down a little bit, Parkvale. So this is one of the oldest neighborhoods within the city. So there's some things to note about this neighborhood. This is absolutely fantastic if you're looking to retire. This whole back section right here is all 55 plus living. So all older duplexes. This area is super popular for retirees because you have access to all of this beautiful greenery. And then if we move over into this middle section here, we got tennis courts. This is the Red Deer Rec Center. So it's got swimming pools. And then in this area too, we have the Seniors Golden Circle, popular area for seniors to get together, hang out, get to know each other, have different events. And then we have some horseshoe pits in this area, splash park for the grandkids. So really popular area if you are looking to retire. This is a super popular area to live for that reason. So I know that we didn't cover every single neighborhood in this video on the south end. If you do have any questions about some that were missed, feel free to reach out to me, ask any questions that you might have. I'm happy to help and answer questions. Guys, if you did like the video, I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, and click the notification bell. That way you're notified every week if a new video comes out. And of course, if you'd like any help with your real estate needs, I'm a licensed realtor in the area. Use this info popping up. Get a hold of me any way you like. If you think you jive with me, would love the opportunity to earn your business and to meet you. I will see you guys in the next video. Cheers.